4 basic foot placements that I'm looking for when I'm climbing a crack. One, if there's a nice hold like this one outside the crack, that's great. Or if you can smear your foot outside the crack because you're on a low angle slab, that's also great. So 1, foot placement's outside the crack. And that might involve a braced stance on both feet, or it might involve all your weight on one foot, in which case you might want to flag the other foot one way or the other to center yourself over the good hold. Second thing to look for, especially in thin cracks like this section of finger crack right here, you might want to smear your foot on the crack. In that case, the crack is providing extra surface area for that smear, and you are placing your foot right over the crack. So in this case, the point of my shoe is lined up with the crack. Like whenever you're smearing, you want to drop your heel and center your knee and hip over that foot, hip over heel. And this is when it's really useful, again, to flag the other foot, because that helps you center your weight over the one foot that's in the crack. The next thing I'm often looking for when climbing a crack, and this is kind of like the classic crack foot technique, and the reason people think crack climbing hurts, because this can be kind of uncomfortable. What I'm doing here is I'm turning my foot, externally rotating my knee, putting the toe of my shoe in the crack, and then bringing my knee back to the midline, which locks my foot in the crack. Externally rotate, toe in, twist to lock, flag the other foot for balance. So in order to put my foot right there, I've rotated my knee to the outside, put the whole toe of my shoe in the crack. Now I've brought my knee back to the midline. The toe of my foot is kind of uncomfortably torqued into the crack there, but it's really secure. And again, flagging my other foot, and in this case, palming my right hand in order to center myself over that right foot that's in the crack. I want to get off that because that was kind of hurting the tops of my toes. The fourth technique, as the crack gets a little wider, that I'll start to look for, again involves putting your whole toe in the crack, but putting it in straight. So my left foot right now is jammed in the crack, but I'm standing on it straight in a neutral alignment. Now, because I have a nice stiff shoe, which is especially nice when you're crack climbing, the crack is pinching my foot, but it's pinching the stiff rubber right here at the base of my toes. That's much more comfortable. I can hang out there. In fact, right now I'm demonstrating a resting stance when crack climbing. I've got one foot firmly jammed in the crack, the opposite hand jammed in the crack, and then the foot that's not jammed in the crack is helping me balance with my center of gravity right over the crack. So I'm flagging that other foot out to the side for balance. Let's take a closer look. Here's the classic crack technique, putting my foot in the crack, pinky toe down, and bringing my knee in to twist my foot, locking it in the crack. Uncomfortable, but effective. If the crack is the right size for my foot, I can try the more comfortable technique of jamming straight in with my foot and leg in a neutral alignment. On a thin crack, I can smear my foot right over the crack. I want to drop my heel and smear like usual, but with the point of my shoe lined up right on the crack so the tip is slightly pinched for extra contact. Lastly, if there's a nice hold or a good smear outside the crack, why not use it?